IIT Hyderabad, thank you very much for this opportunity. I'm very privileged to be with all of you here. This is my first visit to IIT Hyderabad. It's also a very auspicious day today. I don't know how many of you know that. Okay. It's a very special day according to the Hindu calendar, but if it means anything to you at all. Okay. Also here to talk about some of the activities that IIT Madras does in the field of entrepreneurship. One of which is there, the YEDI, the Young Entrepreneurs Development Initiative. This happens to be the first session outside Chennai. Okay, so we are beginning with Hyderabad, and I hope this is a very that this will be a great beginning for YEDI. Okay, okay, that's a take on Jedi. How many of you have seen Star Wars? Okay, so that's a take on Jedi. So we call ourselves YEDI. Okay, fine. Anyway, a very brief introduction about my team here first. We have Balaji, who's part of, stand up Balaji, please. He's a part of Bothbridge. He works for Bothbridge, particularly in the production and distribution of NPTEL material, National Program on Technology Enhanced Learning materials. A few words about that will follow. Please. Thank you, Balaji. Sit down. And we have Mr. Balraju, who is the founder and CEO of Bothbridge. A few words about Balraju. He's one of the most energetic young persons who I've come across in my life so far, and it's been a privilege knowing Balraju. One of the greatest characteristics of Balraju, I've told him and I've told several others, is that I noticed him to be an extremely fair person in his dealings, you know. So that's one notable point about Balraju. He's been fair to a fault, if you want to put it that way. An absolutely well-planned execution of tasks. I've never seen somebody who's so painfully persistent. Okay, I even tell him, Balraju, you are irritatingly persistent. I can tell you living life is as much of entrepreneurship as you do business through entrepreneurship. Okay. Anyway, Balraju has taken his degree, MS Entrepreneurship degree from IIT Madras in July 2009, and he belongs to the first batch of students who have come through the revived program. Okay. I'll begin with a few words about the program itself in IIT Madras, and then we'll move on to some kind of introduction for you young people about entrepreneurship. Okay. The MS Entrepreneurship program is India's first education program leading to a degree. It's MS stands for Master of Science Entrepreneurship. It's a research-based program. Okay, it's research-based because the entrepreneurship proposal that students who work in the program, they have to submit a research-based defense of their product or service, which is very important. The reason is there are two types of entrepreneurship. One, which is very important, is called the Me Too entrepreneurship. There is an existing entrepreneur, and you are taking the same line and saying, me too. I'm also going to be an entrepreneur in the same line. Okay. The other type is the research-based entrepreneurship, where you are not taking the position, me too. You're saying that, look, I'm studying a market, and I'm trying to identify a product or a service that doesn't exist so far. And here is my research to defend or to give evidence that I'm correct in my observation. Okay. So that's why it's research-based, and that's what the MS Entrepreneurship program stands for. It doesn't mean we are against Me Too. It just says that we prefer research-based styles of entrepreneurship. Me Too is very important for the country, by the way, before you guys take a different conclusion. Okay? It is very important for the country as much as the research-based entrepreneurship is important. Okay? And the student has to submit two theses. One, technical thesis, which defends the product and its functionalities. I'll talk a little more as we go along, what I mean by product functionalities and so on, the value and so on. Yeah, please come. And the second thesis is a techno-commercial thesis, which defends the market. You're able to give evidence that there is a market for your product. Okay? It's one thing to say, I've got a great product. Another thing to say that there is a market for my product. Okay? Because after all, you're dealing with a great source of uncertainty, which is you and me, customers. Okay, somebody has to buy. After all, he may produce a great product, but what if others don't see the greatness and don't buy the product? So you've got a problem on hand. So 2 theses have to be submitted and they are evaluated independently. Okay? So Balaraju has done that. What I'm really proud about Balaraju is, he has been featured twice. He and his product have been featured twice on the cover story of Indian Banker, which is India's banking journal. He was invited to the Indian Banking Conference in Mumbai, and he was mentored by a very good friend of ours and a well-known person in the banking industry, Mr. Balakrishnan, whom we have to acknowledge for all the help he has given to Balaraju. He presented, his product was an electronic transaction security product. You have it with you, Balaraju. Maybe you can show it. It's a damn simple idea. But the point is, who says simple ideas are discovered easily? You know from your own experiences, I'm sure all of you recognize that sometimes simple ideas are not identified quickly. And especially if you're an IIT, you're taught to solve everything with matrix algebra, differential equations, complex variables, etc. Whereas the solution may need nothing more than simple plus minus division and multiplication. Okay? Because that's the way, unfortunately, IIT grooms you. Even simple problems are made very complicated, and then you come with a heavy proof and say QED. At the end, the other guy will say, look, I knew it. What are you doing? You know? So, but sometimes you'll have to get away. Well, this is his product. You can see it's a crazy product. This is just a piece of plastic with a matrix on it, where some cells are not shaded and some cells are shaded. Why this product? I'll ask Balaraju to explain it later. Why this idea? How does it provide security to people who are getting into electronic transactions, particularly in the banking industry and perhaps also in e-governance? You know, e-governance is becoming a very big thing in India. I believe government of Andhra Pradesh is among the leaders in e-governance. This is what is going to protect people when they get into net transactions. This is going to